Hey GED students, it's GED question of the daytime, and again I'm looking at the vocabulary related to what we call polynomials, which definitely do show up on the GED. So the problem is a lot of students, they read the directions, they go, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. So really important to understand this vocabulary. So let's take a look. It says match each polynomial below to the appropriate description. And here we see some polynomials. Let me pull out my pen. A, B, and C here are polynomials. And then on, and people are like, what the heck is a polynomial, Kate? Well, poly means many, but what does nomial mean? Well, hopefully you watched the last video where we defined the word terms, but a polynomial is just basically a mathematical expression. So you can see these are mathematical expressions, combinations of numbers, operations, and letters or variables. A mathematical expression that can have more than one term. Okay, and so that's the definition of a polynomial. Okay, more than one thing, adding and subtracting. Now, we basically classify polynomials based on the number of terms. So that is one of the reasons we learned to count terms last question of the day. So let's just review that terms are these mathematical expressions that are separated by addition and subtraction. Basically, each time you have an act of addition or subtraction, a new term starts. And so like looking at this, I have 4x squared, and then I see an act of addition that starts a new term, plus x, so positive x is another term, and minus 1, adding or subtracting starts a new term. So this particular polynomial has 3 terms. Now, knowing what I mean, I bet you might have a good answer of whether this is a monomial, a binomial, or a trinomial, because these prefixes are common in English. We use mono, bi, and tri all the time to mean 1, 2, and 3. Just like a tricycle has 3 wheels, a trinomial has 3 terms. And so guess what? A is our trinomial. It's our 3-termed expression. A is 3. Okay, now let's look at B. B might look ugly and complex, but one thing you're going to notice is there's only one thing here, adding or subtracting. We don't have another term starting. We didn't plus 7 to it or minus 5y or anything like that. That is just a single solitary term. The prefix for 1 is mono, and so this is a monomial. B matches with 1. So obviously that leaves C to be 2, but let's look at Y. Again, I count the terms to classify a binomial. So we see an X term, and then we see this minus sign signaling the start of a new term. Again, anything adding or subtracting starts a new term. So X minus 3, there are 2 terms, and the prefix for 2 is bi, just like a bicycle has 2 wheels, a binomial has 2 terms. And so C is 2, a binomial. Again, you probably wouldn't have a question just like this on your GED, but we would use this language. We might say term or monomial or binomial or trinomial in the directions, and I've seen students just freeze up and lose their minds because they don't know what we're talking about. So really important that you have this rich mathematical vocabulary so you don't panic on the GED. Great. If you have any questions about this or any other GED math topic, be sure to drop it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it.